Everything you learned in history class was a lie. Well, maybe not everything, but they skipped the best parts. Introducing Stupiracy, where stupidity meets conspiracy. Ever heard of the Olympic marathon that nearly killed its runners? Or the time a pope put another pope's corpse on trial? Join me, Scott Rizzuto, and Tim McKernan as we uncover the most outrageous historical moments and mind-blowing conspiracies you won't believe actually happened. Tune into Stupiracy for your weekly dose of historical absurdity. Available wherever you get your podcasts. Remember, history is dumb, but laughing at it is smart.
Live from the TCL broadcast studios, it's Joe Souchere and Patrick Royce with Sports Talk.
You've alarmed me.
The most interesting copy reader layout guy you ever worked with. Bud Armstrong has passed away. Yes, he died today at age 79. The great Bud Armstrong. Yeah.
Wow, he was good.
He was a different kind of cat, man. He was a great guy, but he would tell you if you wrote something stupid that you should maybe change it. He was
no kidding.
Yeah, he was something. I always said, when I wrote the famous tiptoed ball throwing, what I blame that on is Bud not working that night. Because if Bud had been there, I would have called up, "What the hell are you doing?"
Was he still working?
Oh yeah, he was. That was 91. Hell, Bud.
No. Was he still working now?
No, he retired. I actually did a column on him. I think 2011. He was still. We were still in the old building. Yeah, 2011 he retired.
What did he die from?
Well, he'd had the heart attacks, but I think general weakened condition from some kind of a lung thing, and he'd been in the hospital for a while. But I had no idea what precarious.
Well, he loved the cigarettes, the Nate Shermans, the brown ones.
But I bet he gave those up 30 years ago. Yeah, but he, in 2004 or so, and that was kind of the basis of my column. Well, Judd and he are big buddies, because Judd was a kid working on the desk, and he sat next to Bud all those years. And he basically died in the office one night from his second heart attack. But he waited till after deadline. They were putting out the Saturday night paper for Sunday. And, the way as crazy as it is on Sunday nights, because you got all these pages, Saturday nights, you got all these pages, everybody's playing, you got earlier deadlines, and then they get everything done, and then Bud looks at Judd and said, "Call 911." And, they're right next to HCMC, and they rushed over. They were there like in 2 minutes, but when they got there, Bud fell off his chair, and basically he was gone, and they put the paddles on him. Brought him back, took him over to the hospital, put the paddles on him again. He was pretty much gone, and he came back a few months later and ended up working another 6-7 years.
Wow.
So. But he was my favorite thing about him, and you'll know this, is they used to run that thing on page 2 briefly. Mm-hmm. They run this thing briefly with all kinds of. You had your NFL roundup, your Major League roundup, your hockey roundup at Big Ten, but then whatever sports were left over, or
curling,
whatever sports were left over, they would put in briefly, and the guy would put briefly together, and generally it was some football game that didn't make the regular section or something. But when Bud did it, you'd have a yacht race from South Africa, a 6-hour test match in cricket from New Zealand. We never missed a tennis tournament around the world. I mean, they could be playing the Indonesia B squad, that thing, and it was always in Bud's. I said, if somebody's doing a eulogy, by the way, Bud was putting stuff in on the English Premier League before any of us even knew soccer existed, okay? Now people talk about having their favorite teams. Bud was way ahead of the curve. And, of course, the only newspaper that mattered to Bud was the New York Times, because they knew how to cover sports. And every time I see one of these Sunday sports things, like a few months ago, they had a thing on surfing in the North Sea in the far north of Norway. I thought Bud would have loved this story. He would have thought this was, forget the Vikings versus the Panthers. And Bud would have loved this story, So,
Wow.
But yeah, Bud
well-read guy too.
Oh man, yeah. Well, his mentor before you got there was Bob Sorensen, who was the makeup guy, and also he became the books editor. Then he died young of cancer. And but he and Bud he was his mentor and then became his very best friend. But they were read books. And of course, my famous Sid story is I'm a copy boy there.
You read books?
Bob Sorensen would take his lunch break, bring himself an apple and a sandwich, and sit over in a corner and have a paperback with his feet up.
Right.
He was the makeup guy, but he would escape for a half hour, no matter what was happening. Sid came
If
by
nobody
him
needed their makeup done.
Sid came by him and said, "Do you read books?"
Yeah.
Yes, Sid.
Sid never read one in his life.
Written
Including
several.
his own.
He's written several, but he hasn't read them. No. Yeah. Who was that line about? What was the rip that Frank Graham made about Carl Ferrello? I believe it was. I think it was Carl Ferrello, who has written a book and read several others. Right. Something like that. That was a great shot. But yeah, the great Bud Armstrong, great buddy of the younger desk people, Judd, Kenny Cha. When my son Chris worked there, he wasn't on the desk, but Bud used to have them all out for dinner, and his wife and he would prepare these gourmet meals. And
Was
stuff
Judd there when I was there?
No. Judd was one of those basically copy boys who, because they were shorthanded, they just let him start handling copy, and he became a copy editor. Right. So
Could we play the Such coworker game in the newspaper business as much as we can play it here?
I don't think so. Not in the St. Paul, not in the Minneapolis days anyway. Because when you're in the sports department, you're kind of in the.
I suppose.
You're not.
I actually knew people, Chris.
Yes, right. Bud might have been the guy in the slot though. The night you were going to bring your baseball story in about 1 a.m. and hand it to him typewritten. He might have urged you to have a little more urgency about.
Well, I had a little trouble with what was called the 10th ad.
Yeah, right.
And Larry Batson really, I think he wanted to kill me. Because I kept saying, well, why is it called the 10th ad?
Yeah,
why wouldn't it be the first?
First ad, yeah. Right.
But you'd start a baseball game.
And by the way, that was only a Tribune thing. The other places I worked, we never had the 10th ad.
You're out at Met Stadium.
Yeah.
You're covering the Twins.
Yes.
It's the 7th inning.
Okay.
And you got to file something.
Yes.
So you say, and the Twins hit a home run, and the Harmon Killebrew hit a home run in the 7th.
It was majestic. It was wonderful.
Wonderful, and the Twins took a 2-1 lead.
Yeah.
Because you had to be ready for the end of the game nearing deadline.
Yeah,
so you'd send that
edition.
in. You'd send that in.
Yeah.
And then you'd build on top of that.
Got it.
Or below it, whatever you had to do.
So you could either have the 10th ad, the 11th ad, the 12th ad, or the
What ad am I
third
doing
ad,
now?
fourth ad, fifth ad.
I got ad confused. Why can't I just write this when it's over?
This is one you want in the Heavens video room.
I'm going to go check that one out at Heaven's Video
No, the one
Store.
you want is when the papers are stacked up in a big loose leaf binder.
Yeah, right, yeah.
And Batson crooked his finger at me. He brought me over there, and
He was going to finally explain it.
he was going to show me.
Yeah.
And he opened the thing, and he said, "Now here's a twin story."
Yeah, from the state edition. It had to be running.
And you see what I mean here by you have to start it somewhere. You have to have a 10th ad.
Yes.
I said, I don't understand why you're calling it the 10th ad.
You were hung up.
I really
you were
was.
hung up on the details.
I didn't like the terminology.
No.
This confused.
Why do you call it the first thing I send you?
Why am I already at 10?
Yeah.
What happened to the
It's like
first
the airport.
9?
Give me the main one and not the main one. Oh, God, I struggled with something mighty.
Bud loved you though. He
Yeah.
loved Quirky, and Bud was a great guy, man.
That's a shame. 79. Well, that's good. Well, no, that's not really that good
it's not that
in this day and age.
Right.
What do you? You're about 82, aren't you?
I'm 72. I only feel 82.
Oh, that's right.
But Bud, he was a runner, and he was a runner and kept himself in shape, and he had the heart attacks, and I didn't. I don't know why.
Well, he was a basketball player too.
Oh yeah, a lot of noon basketball.
Why don't we talk about Jack Morris when we come back?
We will.
Yep. All right. I didn't know the Baseball Hall of Fame had a modern era committee.
We have shaken things up in about the last 4 or 5 years. First of all, it used to be you stayed on the ballot. You could stay on the baseball writers' ballot for 15 years. They changed that to 10. You stay on it by getting at least 5% of the vote. And then it used to be after 15 years, you disappeared. Now it's after 10 years. And then when they did this, they're trying to get more voices involved than just the baseball writers. So they set up these 3 committees. See, they always had that veterans committee, but it was like 12 guys, most of them old crusty players who would vote their buddies in, and they wouldn't vote anybody else in. So they set up 3 veterans committees. They set up this one. They set up the one for guys older than this generation. They call that one the expansion era or something. And that's the one Tony missed by 1 vote a couple of years ago. He'll be up again next year. And then I think the old timers one still exists too. So there's 3 of these now, but they only vote once every 3 years, these 3 committees.
I don't think there's any doubt in my mind that he should be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, everybody says.
Why did Drysdale go in right away? Morris has a better record.
Yeah, well, see, the modern generation is wins aren't that important, but Jack Morris completed 1 of every 3 games that he started. When you're finishing
and
games,
face designated hitters.
when you're finishing games, wins matter.
Mm-hmm.
In that era, wins mattered more than an era where you go to the bullpen in the 6th inning and something happens. Wins mattered when you're pitching. One year he pitched 293 innings. Your wins matter when you're pitching 293 innings. Wins matter when you go 10 innings in a scoreless Game 7 of the World Series.
Right.
The win matters.
Right.
So, a lot of people, the modern stat freaks don't like the idea that he's got the higher ERA than anybody.
So what?
Well, first of all, he had a couple of formative years, but he was the best pitcher in the 80s.
Right.
If you're the best pitcher for a decade, you're a Hall of Famer.
I think so.
And especially when you pitched as many innings as he did, 3,800 innings. So,
does any city in the country have 3 Hall of Famers?
oh yeah, I'm sure bigger cities than St. Paul. But
Well-
does any city the size of St. Paul? I don't know. I don't think. But to me, the question is, does any city have 3 guys who competed in the same decade
Right.
going in the Hall of Fame?
Reuvers.
It's the size of St. Paul.
I kind of have a feeling this was coming.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Well, just for fun,
Well,
pick a
LA's
city.
got to have.
Well, pick
15.
how many baseball Hall of Famers are from Chicago. Just pick a city.
All right. I'm on it. Give me a second. It's not going to happen.
They got to be
instantly.
from Chicago. They can't have just played there.
Well, no, he's talking about born in Chicago. I'm sure.
Molitor, Winfield, and Morris not only are from the same city, they pretty much all played against each other.
Yeah, Winnie was, of course, Molly followed Winnie at
Right.
Attucks Brooks and played for the same Legion. Jack and Paul played against each other in Legion, not so much high school, because one was at Cretin and the other was at Highland.
Right.
But Molly did tell me a good story that first time he faced Jack, he thought it was in like a sophomore scrimmage type baseball game against Highland. He said he threw the ball all over. He threw hard and had no idea where it was going. And now years later, he's playing against the Brewers, and the Brewers, they say, somebody from Brewers, anybody know anything about this guy? He said, yeah, I do. And if he hasn't changed, he throws hard and he doesn't know where it's going. And then he hit Sal Bando in the helmet right off the
Well,
bat.
Joe, just to burst your bubble, and I hate to do that,
Well, I don't care.
there are 21 Hall of Famers from the city of Belleville, Illinois alone.
Really?
Yeah, according to the Baseball Almanac.
That
A lot of them are-
Name 2.
Okay. Mark. Hang on.
Where's Belleville? Is it a suburb of Chicago?
Yeah, I think so. Well, I have the Major League.
Mudcap Johnson.
I have Major League Baseball players that are born in the state of Illinois, and then it lists every city. There's quite a few of them.
Oh,
Yeah, but you're
Massive.
talking Hall of Famers.
Yes.
21
You
Hall
just
of
looked up
Famers for
players.
Belleville,
You
Illinois.
just
I
looked
don't
up-
believe it.
He just looked up players.
It clicked on players.
Oh, that doesn't make sense.
Yes.
Well, still 21 players from Belleville,
That's
Illinois.
not
is
what I'm
impressive.
looking for.
I know.
Yeah.
Get the money in the CAT scan fund.
Dang it.
San Diego, I can only think of one. Ted Williams.
Well,
Tony Gwynn. Isn't he from the San Diego area?
I want to know from the city.
I believe that.
Then look it up.
Yeah. Here, I think I'm going to put cash in this time.
Yeah.
I think I got.
You got to drop some of that money that don't make no noise.
Here, I got one. I got a 20 here.
There it
I think
is.
I'll
Yeah,
put
that doesn't make
Leave it
noise.
right on the desk.
20 would take him from tan and scan to.
You guys are awfully high and mighty when you sit in there barking orders like the king and queen of
Not
Siam.
me. I did not bark it. That
I'm
comes
barking
from
it
him.
because that's all he's got to do is click a few things.
Okay.
And, boom.
Yeah.
It's a
I think
boom.
he's up to
I
value
tried,
scores.
Chris.
Thank you, Kenny. I appreciate you.
Belleville, Illinois, 23 Hall of Famers.
Yeah, 21 players.
About
I got
12
him.
people live in Belleville, Illinois.
That was like me on Saturday delivering the 2013, what was it, the Colombian Golf Tour scores?
Yes.
Yeah.
Who's leading
2017.
that? Rook, who's leading the Masters?
Well, let me look here.
Julio
McCullough.
Sanchez. Huh? Who? I never heard of him. Usually I've heard of the guy who's leading the Masters. Hey,
Check the date.
aren't you happy? All these jackasses who sit around their house in their tweed jacket at 82 years old, smoking a pipe, looking to see if the ball oscillated, can't call in
Oh,
anymore.
I'm so thrilled. Yeah.
Some of those guys are going to commit suicide. They're going to be so upset that they
If golf
can't.
hadn't done that, I was prepared to write a strong letter.
Why were they allowing it in the first
Oh,
place?
that's a good question. My favorite
'cause
is
there's-
Craig Stadler at Torrey Pines, who put a towel, Kenny, put a towel under a pine tree for, what's that?
Sap to
1/32 of an inch,
Yeah.
just to keep pine tree sap off his pants.
Yeah.
Some turd called in and said, that's building a stance.
Yes.
Oh, my God.
It's not plausible that he gave him a swing advantage. It's not plausible.
That guy needs a full body check up
Yeah.
against
Oh,
the
yeah.
board.
I always thought that.
I hate those kind of people. Oh, my
I
God.
always thought that we should get the NSA involved and have them track these guys
And
down
find them,
and
yes,
firebomb
and then put
their
them in
house.
prison.
Yes. I'll vote for you if that's on your
Who's the gal?
Or
Lexi?
at least get the bag full of poop and put it on the front, light it on fire,
light a
and put it
flaming
on the
bag.
front.
How you doing, Chris?
I'll have results for you shortly.
He's almost done. He's narrowing down the Bellevue, Illinois list to.
I want to know if Bellevue has one Hall of Famer. That's
Sports Talk will return shortly with some important results we get from the internet. But
All right, word of warning for you folks traveling southbound 169. It comes to a stop before Excelsior Boulevard. It's due to a crash being cleared at Highway 62. It looks like the left lane being taken out there. A bunch of tow trucks, even a big rig tow on the scene. So this will be a while. Again, southbound 169 stopping at Excelsior Boulevard due to a crash at Highway 62. Now let's get to sports talk.
well, the Google isn't as
Oh my God! You just cannot play radio with these two. No, you can't play radio.
I know. I like
with
the
these
song
two.
too. I do like. I'm trying to hear the song.
I was so close.
I was arriving this morning about 10, a little after 10.
gotta
You
finish my
guys, you know what?
internet
No. You guys need to go to Brown College or wherever they teach school just to throw a monkey wrench into a quarter.
The internet isn't as. I thought I could look up how many baseball players are in the Hall of Fame from San Diego. It doesn't come up that way.
Kenny was about to kiss that post, and here comes Joe.
Let me tell you something about the interlinks.
Coming in on a dirt bike, holding a chainsaw wide open.
I want to know.
It's very important. I am doing fine. I can't talk to you right now because Channel 4 is here. We're doing the program.
Oh my God! So you cannot do it by city, but on the Baseball Hall of Fame website, you can locate by state.
Okay.
Colorado has one. I've
All right,
discovered.
then we're ahead of Colorado.
Minnesota has 4.
The fourth being Chief Bender.
Atta boy,
Yes, okay.
Patrick.
What about Kirby Puckett?
Illinois.
From Chicago.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. I forgot.
You forgot your own rule there, King.
I did. I forgot my own template.
It does seem unfair, though, because we do like to claim him.
Oh,
Yes.
sure we do.
And by the way, I found this surprising. Not one from Arizona.
Well, is there any state that beats 4?
Oh,
Hell,
yeah.
God, California's
have you
probably
named
got
it?
Illinois.
How many?
They have 22.
All in Belleville.
All in Belleville.
You're so full of.
the city of New York's probably got 40.
Now you don't know what to believe.
I'm just.
By
never
the way,
mind.
city
Who
of
cares?
Belleville is a suburb of St. Louis.
Yes,
I was
it is.
informed.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah, my aunt used to live there.
Did she play baseball?
Well, with your standards, she's probably in the Hall of Fame.
I thought it was Alton, Illinois.
No, well, that's where they were born, but she lived in Belleville.
Am I going to be the one to have to say, here's John?
Here's
with the
John.
name.
I would know. If I hadn't been taking a sip of Diet Coke, I was going to say that. Yeah.
I spent 10 minutes out there in the last half hour just sweating because I thought, God, I can't find enough stories. Well, I guess I didn't have to do that, did I?
You're 2.5 minutes of house money right now.
Oh, wait, before you start, John, I have good news. That crash that I was talking about, southbound 169 at Highway 62, just cleared, so both lanes are open again.
And one from the state of Idaho.
Really? Who? Oh, Harmon.
Harmon, baby.
Who's the one from Colorado?
Goose Gossage.
Oh, I'll be damned.
And I have your the Colombian golf tour results from 2013 if you guys want those.
Johnny,
Let me
tell
know.
us
sit
something,
on
will
those,
you?
man.
Help
Okay,
us
let me
out,
know.
will you?
It's cloudy, 34 degrees.
Johnny's sitting there saying, keep talking.
Yep. Stretch her out, boys.
Vikings 10-3 after that loss yesterday. They will play the Bengals at U.S. Bank Stadium next Sunday.
I think the Bengals have packed her in. Johnny.
Oh, yeah.
No kidding.
The Bears beat them as bad as they wanted to.
Yeah. Gophers men's basketball team, they play again tonight. Been a while since they've won one now. They're at home against Drake.
You know what the latest facial expression Patino's been practicing in the mirror? Making a perfect like this.
Is that we catch some
A lot of
those.
O's. Oh.
Well, Dave Thorson is a Drake assistant, the guy who won, I think, 6 titles at De La Salle. They were six in a row or whatever. He's
Who's
now
he?
an assistant, Dave Thorson.
Who's he
the
play
De-
for?
De La Salle. He's a Drake assistant coach.
Oh. What's that got to do with the
They're
O?
playing Drake.
Oh.
Playing Drake.
I'm on your team on this one, Such. I have no idea what the hell they're talking about. They're playing Drake next, are they?
Tonight, even, Joe.
good.
As
Although there's snow on the roof, there's fire in the belly.
Just a minute here. Just a minute here.
news
Consult the grid.
news notes from today. The Anoka County Sheriff's
Oh, yeah, BTN.
I walk every day.
A lot of good it does.
New York City police have identified the suspect in that explosion in the crowded subway as 27-year-old Akayed Ula. Police say Ula was carrying an improvised low-tech explosive device when it went off as he was in an underground passageway.
Didn't even kill this turd.
3 people suffered minor injuries. He had it strapped to his body. He ended up with burns and lacerations to his midsection.
Yeah.
He'll be fine.
And his privates, hopefully.
Johnny, is this a different guy than the guy from yesterday, or is this the same
This
guy?
is this morning.
Okay, there was
We
one
had a guy yesterday.
Yesterday, there was a guy trying to get through he blew himself up
In New York?
trying to get through the
That's news to
the
me.
front. Yes,
Well, that
I didn't see that.
you're the only one who
The
knows
front
that,
of what,
apparently.
sir?
That's not the newspaper.
They stopped him at the outside the place, the bus terminal he was going to.
Holy cow.
Background on Ula. Just over a year after getting to the U.S. in March 2012, he secured a livery license. That, according to the New York City Taxi and Limousine Commission, that license, which was not for a New York City cab, but instead for so-called for-hire vehicle, lapsed in 2015. Police have spoken with his family in the Flatlands section of Brooklyn. Ula apparently traveled overseas to Bangladesh in September and returned in October, according to a law enforcement source. He also previously had traveled to the United Arab Emirates. He had no criminal history prior to all this. President Trump wants to send astronauts back out to the moon, and further, Trump authorized acting NASA Administrator Robert M. Lightfoot Jr. to lead an innovative space exploration program to send American astronauts back to the moon during a White House signing ceremony today.
What do we care? We've been there. What do we care? What
You
do we want
to
to
Mars?
What do we want? I don't
Again,
want
we got to
to
go get Larry.
I don't want to go to
Larry's still
Mars.
waiting up
We
there.
waited and waited.
We waited.
I don't want to go get a Mars. I want to, let's keep the Medicaid going instead of going to Mars, okay?
Did you
let's
hear
worry
what you
about
and the
that.
president have in common, Patrick?
What's that?
12 Diet Cokes a day.
That's right. Except my speech isn't quite as slurred as his.
Well, you don't have your teeth glued in.
But
And-
if Pat is going to be appointed senator, it will be make Diet Coke great again.
Standing with retired astronauts and Vice President Pence, the president touted the initiative as the first step in establishing a foundation on the moon for an eventual mission to Mars and perhaps someday to worlds beyond, in his words. Deputy White House Press Secretary Hogan Gidley said that Trump's directive came after the National Space Council set recommendations to the president.
All right, I'm not big on mileage as far as planets are concerned and moons, but if you go to the moon
That's
and
a
then
ways.
as you think you're going to Mars,
Yeah.
that's kind of like if you're driving to Fort Myers and you're in Albert Lee, isn't it? I mean, you still got most of
ways
the
to
trip.
go,
Most
yeah.
of the trip's still ahead of you. So why do we want to spend money? Let's either go to Mars or forget it. Okay, we don't have to go back to
You
the
can take this up on the Senate
damn
floor.
moon.
Senate floor. Daredevil.
Hey, did you guys hear the news last week, or at least it was news to me, that Vice President Pence, when he was in college,
Yes.
Yeah.
turned in his frat brothers for
Yes.
having a keg of beer?
Showed him where
Showed him,
showed
walked
the
him
authorities
right
where
in
the
and
keg
said,
was
"This
hidden.
is a
That is the kind of guy that would call the PGA to complain
Yes,
and
yes.
cry
Yes. For all
about
we
something
know,
they
he's
saw.
one of the guys.
Yeah.
He's the guy that might have ratted out Tiger at the Masters.
Yep.
A release from the Minnesota Lottery today said a ticket purchased at Casey's General Store in Little Falls matched the first 5 numbers drawn in last Saturday's Powerball drawing. That means it's worth $1 million.
Nice.
Marks the 4th $1 million ticket sold in Minnesota this year. The store will get a $5,000 bonus for selling it.
That's it.
Winner hasn't claimed the prize yet, but the store's manager said a woman came in this morning, said her mom held the winning ticket.
I wonder why this store gets a prize. I don't care one way or the other, but they had nothing to do with it. Nothing. A guy comes with a truck and says, "Here's your tickets," and they sell them. The store had nothing to do with it.
You give them a little incentive to promote lottery sales.
Well, I get it. I don't care. More power to Casey's. Is that a franchise deal, Casey's?
Yeah.
They're around
Yes.
outstate, not
Good
not here.
pizza. I like Casey's pizza.
They're all over up where I live, Pat. They're
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
You get a
Oh,
pack
yeah.
of Swishers there.
You can get them. Oh, yeah.
Did you just say this, Chris? Pardon me. Maybe I need to scan. They have great pizza.
Love their pizza.
Yeah, okay, you did say that.
Casey's
They
has
do.
great
They
pizza.
have
Oh,
very
yeah.
good pizza.
Really good pizza.
Better than Quick Trip?
Quick Trip's pretty good.
Kenny insinuating I'm losing my mind, apparently.
Totally, John.
Shazam. You guys use your Shazam app on your phone?
Shazam!
On your phone, the Shazam app?
Never heard
Oh,
of
I
Very,
think that came and went.
No.
it's very cool.
You
Apple,
aim it at something, it'll tell you what song it is.
that's correct. Yeah, I use it all the time.
Yeah.
Apple has now purchased it. Bought Shazam, the maker of the song recognition app that Siri digital assistant already used to help people identify the music playing in their iPhones. They wouldn't talk about how much it costs, but apparently Apple's paying $400 million for Shazam, according to 3 unidentified people who are familiar with the deal.
Just some young weenies who came up with this, and now they're rich, huh?
What the hell is Bitcoin?
Oh, God.
I don't know, but I'm not buying
This
it.
was talked about on the beer show on Thursday
heard
night.
that,
Yeah.
I heard your guy.
People are taking out mortgages to buy Bitcoin.
But it's too late now, isn't it?
It continues to go up, though.
From what I hear, you should have been on the ground floor years ago.
You should have, but it's still continuing to go
What
up.
is it?
It's online
A
currency.
digital currency that means nothing.
This sounds like those the
Okay, fiat stock.
This sounds like the 1970s when we used to get the letter, right? Remember that you got you'd get the letter, and then you'd give the guy $25.
right,
and
yeah,
then you'd
exactly.
send
The
out
chain letter.
The chain letter.
Chain
This
letter.
sounds like the chain letter.
And this, by the time it gets around to you, you'll have $25 million. You never saw 1 cent ever. Not one. Oh, that was nice. That was refreshing for once.
Kenny's right.
Can we do more of that?
All right, boys. Joe, are you listening?
Yeah, putting their
not.
headphones on right now.
Souchere, your state with the most Hall of Famers is New York with 31, Pennsylvania with 24, Illinois 22, Ohio 19, Texas 17, Maryland 15.
Okay, but how about a city?
South Dakota has one Hall of Famer. Can you guys name it?
Boy, who would that be?
I would say Roger Maris, but he's North Dakota.
No, he's Hibbing, Minnesota. We should actually.
I don't think
he's
Roger's in the
plus
Hall
he's
of
not
Fame.
in the Hall of Fame.
He's not
That's
in the
another
Hall of
thing.
Fame.
I thought he was.
No, he's not.
That's what I was going to ask you.
Who
How
was it
many
in South Dakota?
Sparky Anderson.
I'll be damned.
Yeah, so
how
a
many
non-player.
states that don't have a team have players in?
Well, South Dakota.
You are such a.
Get on that, Chris. Will you?
Idaho, South Dakota. Any from Iowa?
Vermont has 7 from Iowa.
Sparky don't count. He's a manager.
Vermont has 1. Carlton Fisk.
One thing you find out here, gentlemen, is how Major League Baseball was an Eastern sport.
Yes.
For decades and decades.
Wait a minute. He went in as a manager? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Sparky barely got a hit in the big leagues.
Yeah.
I think he might have played 10 minutes. So.
I wonder if a local sports writer described his hit much like you described Tom Kelly's majestic home run at Tiger Stadium.
Yes.
Larry King has been accused of groping one of the ex-wives of singer Eddie Fisher on 2 separate occasions.
Well, Liz Taylor?
Nope.
You couldn't blame him for that, but it
was her
wasn't Liz
name,
Taylor.
John?
Her name was Terry Richard, and
Okay.
she was Eddie's wife briefly in 1975.
What does Larry have to say for himself?
Friends, this is Larry King, and after taking my ecstasy, I run over and give Terry a little alfalfa.
Larry, do you take your teeth out when you give
Why
her the
would
alfalfa?
Terry have to?
Yes, because I use Pepsodent.
Why would Terry have to tell us this 42 years later?
Well, actually, the groping, she says, happened at 2 baseball dinners in 2005 and 2006.
okay.
Baseball dinners.
Yeah, baseball awards dinners at Universal Studios
What the
in
hell
Los
was Larry
Angeles.
doing there?
Now,
Well, he's
does-
a huge baseball
I was the
fan.
MC.
What do you think the chances are of Larry even remembering this?
Did he do a little grabbing?
He did.
What sport?
Did he say, come in, Rangoon?
The 63-year-old Richard had been working as a photographer
I
for
work every day.
Yes, I do.
a local paper. The photographer had reportedly wanted a photograph of the two put in the newspaper. She said, Larry put his hand behind me on my back. And as a photographer was
the old backtrack.
Here
We've
we
heard
go.
about that one.
Stop
They
short.
Slide up.
Stop short was my
Slide,
trick.
you put it on the back, she slides right up.
That takes you out of the red zone.
This one's going down, actually.
That puts you in the red zone.
He said as the photographer was taking our picture, Larry slid his hand down from the middle of my back to
What a
putting his hand.
player.
God almighty, she's got to be 70.
Well, at the time, she's 63 now. She would have been, let's see, that was, 12 years ago? She was 50-ish.
I guarantee he
Leave
had
poor
no
Larry
idea.
alone.
He had no
For
idea
God's
what
sakes,
he was
does.
doing.
She said he put his hand inside her dress and ended up with about 3 or 4 of his fingers, strategically
Right in the
placed on her,
deal?
on her rear end. Yeah.
Whoa. Hey now.
Knocking at the door? Is that what you said?
That's red zone all the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not red anymore. When you're done.
Nope.
I don't think we're taking this seriously.
Right,
Wow,
just
really?
as this is real. Come on, Larry.
Richard alleged that King left his hand on her backside for between 8 to 10 seconds, and he flashed a big smile for the
That's
photographer.
all it takes for Larry. We got that to look forward to, Royce.
Well,
Doesn't
with
take long.
arthritis, once you get your hand, it's going to take you a while to get it out,
It's locked in place.
King strongly denied the claim in a statement to the Mail. His attorney said, Mr. King did no such thing then or ever. She
Yeah,
said
he
it,
did. Why the hell not?
Of course he did.
She said it happened 1 year later, basically the same thing.
Did she leave? Did he leave a bruise?
He did. He grabbed her so hard the second time that she said she let out an audible sound.
Oh.
And he ran off with his wife down the red carpet
hurts.
toward the limousine. She said he squeezed so hard, I ended up with a bruise.
Bruise. Wow.
We know part of it's a lie because there's no way Larry was running.
Hey, what is Bitcoin?
What is Bitcoin?
Yeah.
It is online currency.
All right. Did you get in on it early?
Yeah, I bought in 2015. It was about $400 a coin then.
Yeah.
But then I did the unthinkable and I sold when it was about $2,000 a Bitcoin.
Can I ask you a question, young
This is
man?
Matthew Jr.
Yes.
What the hell is wrong with you? You could be a millionaire right now.
You know what? I still kick myself just about every morning.
How'd you like to wake up every day and tell your old man, hey, get out there and wash my E-Series, you old pig, and shave while you're at it? Well, that'd be awesome, Matt. What's wrong with you?
I'm kicking myself in the butt just about every day these past few weeks.
Did you get paid? Did you get paid in real money?
Oh yeah.
You don't get paid in paper Monopoly money or whatever.
No. It's right to your bank account.
Nah, I don't buy it.
Okay. I think you're lying.
Yeah,
Thank you, Matthew.
Wow.
Thanks.
I think you got scammed.
All I want is a condo in Naples, bro.
Yeah.
Thanks.
All right, well,
Good luck to all of you.
Later.
Yeah.
I know where you can get one in Fort Myers.
I know a guy that can sell one.
You're already bailing.
I'm out of there. Worms. Those little worms are driving me crazy.
Like the little worms.
Little worms like this, man.
Let me
Drive
tell you
nuts.
something. Hawaii will change your life.
Well, I might take you up on it.
Yeah, you'll like it.
I'm just going to wait till the next hurricane is forecast for Fort Myers and get it for pennies on the dollar like we almost did in
I
spring.
offered it for half price the morning it was coming up. They said, somebody call right now. You can have it for half.
Rookie, are all your kids smarter than you? They seem like really
Yes,
bright
every
children.
single one.
I
Every
don't
single
know
one.
about-
I'm the dumb one on the radio and at home.
I don't know about Gabe.
Yeah.
Gabe's going to be the smartest guy in prison.
Okay. Give me a minute here. Last night, I hooked up another TV to cable. So I had to go to the cable store. I'm hooking it up. I'm wiring the remote, and I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do. And Ghost Stories keeps coming up, and I'm going, damn it, why the hell does this thing keep coming up? It happened 4 times.
Gabe was
And little
pranking.
dummy was sitting on the edge of the couch with his phone, and he was making the thing. And I said, I was so mad, and his shoulders were going like this, and so they all said, Gabe, knock it off. I went downstairs to fix it. I could hear all 5 of them laughing upstairs. You're grounded, you little creep.
He's my favorite Mikulski. I love
And
that
he knows
kid.
what Bitcoin is, too.
He knows
I
what
guarantee
Bitcoin
you.
He probably
Fact-
owns about $7
fact,
million
if he still
worth.
got your wife's credit card, he might have bought a couple.
Oh, Lord.
Is he the kid who bought the hovercraft?
Yeah. Right.
Yes.
Did that ever
And-
get sent back?
And who drank the tiki oil.
Oh, I know he drank tiki
Well,
oil.
that made him smart. Made him a criminal.
Did he ever send back the hovercraft?
No.
Oh, so you ended up paying for it.
He had to pay for half of it.
Half of it.
Yeah.
Boy, you rule with an iron
Yeah,
fist.
there you go, you dumb kid.
All right. Here we go. What's coming up?
We
on the
are going to
ride?
have action-packed show. We might have big Jack Morris. We're hoping for a call from Jack.
Does he live out in Montana?
Well, he's in Orlando right now for the baseball writer meetings, but I don't think he has that place anymore. He lives here. I think he sold the ranch.
Okay.
He lives in the Twin Cities area. Of course, he works for the Twins. He does a lot of stuff for the Twins. And, he's hopefully Jack will call. And we got Ben Gessling talking about the Vikings' defeat. Case Keenum will be the quarterback. I think Zimmer made that aware of it. The interesting thing is how many guys in that offensive line are going to be back next week because they got a bunch of injuries.
What do they need? One victory to clinch the division?
Yeah, that's not a problem. What they want now is home field.
1500 ESPN is KSTP, St. Paul, Minneapolis. 34 degrees. The ride is next.